Hi, I'm Thomas Levi, theatre reviewer, performer and scholar, and I'm here with Elemental Theatre to work out what makes theatre tick. I'm going to dive into the magic and mess of musicals and ask the question, why are we putting this on the stage? And today I want to talk about one of the most highly anticipated musicals of this season, 13 Going on 30, the musical. It's a show whose marketing promised to be 30, flirty and thriving, and it just wasn't. Now, on paper, this musical promises so much. It's based on a well-loved rom-com and written by the same writers. It was directed by Andy Fickerman, who directed Heathers and is a legend. And it was headed by none other than Lucie Jones. And loads of other West End incredible performers. And I'll be honest with you, the main reason I bought a ticket was to see Lucie Jones as Jenna. Lucie Jones has been phenomenal in everything I've seen her in. Legally Blonde, Wicked, Waitress. I mean, Lucie Jones could sing the terms and conditions of the O2 contract and I would be hooked. Which begs the question, how did something with so much sparkle end up being so beige? So anyone that's not seen it yet, 13 Going on 30 is at the Manchester Opera House and expectations were high. I went in ready for nostalgia, glitter and a bit of cheesy music that was reminiscent of the noughties. And in fairness, the show really does deliver that noughties aesthetic. The set is brilliant. The digital screens are used so well, not just to project a background, but to give it a bit of life. And I love that. The few set pieces that are flown or brought in are really helpful for the viewer and not over the top, which is exactly what you need. Plus there's lots of lights and everything's sparkly, just like you'd expect from a noughties film turned musical. But once the music starts, that is when the cracks began to form. Now I'll level with you, my biggest issue with the show is that it follows the film far too tightly. So much so, it forgets it's supposed to be a musical. The first 20 minutes of the show is the 13-year-old versions of the characters played by the children actors. And they are a lot of fun, they've got a lot of energy. At times, I couldn't tell what they were saying, but they were really quite nice to watch on the stage. But then we hit a massive reset. Suddenly we're thrown 17 years into the future and we have to meet all of those characters again as adults. And that's where the momentum grinds to a halt. It's like I'm being forced to watch 2 openings of the show. I was tired by then. By the time we finally meet the 30-year-old Jenna, the main character, Lucie Jones, I've already put all of my attention onto the 13-year-old version and I'm expected to shift that straight away. I'm not the writer, I'm not the director, but hear me out for a second as a dramaturg. Cut the first 20 minutes and turn it into one song that is a narrative and expositional dump. Use the music, the song and the lyrics to tell us the backstory. Jenna was having not a great time at a 13th birthday party and she's flashed 17 years into the future as a 17-year-old. Get one song out of the way and then bang, in comes adult Jenna, Lucie Jones, ready to tell the bulk of the story. And as nice and fun as the opening bit is, it's not needed. We have already willingly suspended our disbelief. Just tell us the information we need so we can get on to the heart of the story. And then when Jenna is learning about this 17-year gap in her knowledge, give us a yearbook song where people come on and sing their memories of Jenna and who she was and how she transitioned to be this horrible version of herself. And that is the beauty of a musical. You can dump loads of exposition on someone during a song and the audience don't care because it's set to music. The stage opens up so many opportunities to tell the story in a new way. And yet, it really didn't dig very deep into which of those tools to use. The digital screens are genuinely clever. The production uses them to show memories, to show flashbacks, to show the passage of time. It's really cool. At one point, they even use it for thunder, and that kind of is an emotional grip, and I really enjoyed that. So why not push it further? Let's see alternative versions of Jenna or more moments of time or passages from history. Let's push it to the nth degree, and the music is good. The songs are well crafted both musically and lyrically, and as pop songs, they are a lot of fun and they are nice songs to listen to. Songs like Here and Now, Why Can't We Fly, and Everything were just really lovely songs to sit and listen to. Lovely pop songs. It's just, yeah. But the problem is they didn't feel like they belonged to 13 Going on 30, the musical. It's like you could have taken them out of this musical and dropped them into any generic boy meets girl story and it would still work. For me, the best musicals are the ones where you go, oh yeah, that song can only belong there. You take Dead Girl Walking from Heathers or 17 from Heathers. I can't see that being in another musical. It is so perfectly crafted for its story. There is one exception to that, and that is the song There Should Be Fireworks, which completely works with the show, and I think is, yeah, that is a song that is very nearly a showstopper. The thing is, if you're going to adapt a film to the stage and make it a musical, the musical element, that's the selling point. That's the new thing that is going to excite people. And if the music doesn't tell the story, I will just go home and watch the film. Because I'll level with you, the ticket price was worth about 5 months Netflix subscription, so I could have just watched it over and over again. Putting my dramaturg brain back on, there was a moment of really clumsy exposition that just took me out of the scene so badly. And that was when Darius Mark goes, "We're having an affair." He's telling the audience, "We're having an affair." It just so uninspiring. Now picture a song, a gossip song. The first time Jenna walks into the office, all of her colleagues are singing a little song, a little riff about who she is. That way we can sing a song and tell us through song that she's fired her last 7 secretaries. We can say through a song we think she's having an affair with this designer. And then the exposition doesn't feel so clunky. And that would also help us to imagine Jenna as a horrible person to work with, or that she is so shallow, or that she is vain, or that she is all of these things which only come across because other people say it's that way. And there are so many characters on that stage, and not all of them are needed. Sometimes it feels like there was a rehearsal next door for a different musical and they've just wandered in and found themselves part of the show. Jenna's dad, played by Ross Dawes, who was incredible in Mrs. Doubtfire, is completely wasted talent on that stage. Jenna's dad is given nothing to do apart from hand her a blanket at one point. You could have easily merged Jenna's mum and dad together as one character and there would be nothing different. Matt's fiancée, she exists just because that's the narrative in the film. She doesn't do anything. She comes on, says, "I'm Matt's fiancée," and leaves. Why not reinvent the story? Remove that character. Matt doesn't have a fiancée, but at the end, give him a different reason for wanting to leave the city. He's going to pursue his dreams of being a photographer worldwide, and he's going to get on that plane. And Jenna has to rush and stop him from getting on that plane, rather than rush and stop him from getting married. The character of Kyle, now don't get me wrong, the Act 2 opener, Peaked in High School, is probably the funniest moment of the entire musical. But other than that, what's his point? What is the point of him? And then there is Alex, whose only role is to take his t-shirt off. That's all he does. He just takes his top off. Just looks hot. None of these characters seemingly affect the story. They don't really introduce barriers or conflict or even resolution. They just exist. And if you're gonna update the story, update the narrative as well as the references. Because at the moment it feels like update karaoke. All the ideas are there, just not necessarily. I don't want to listen to them. And that is not to take anything away from the cast. Lucie Jones is just phenomenal. She just is. Like, her characterization, her vocals, everything. She just does an incredible job. of bringing this character to life. Grace Moe was my favourite actor in Mean Girls, and the character she portrays, Lucie, stern, cold-hearted, absolutely love it. She's pure cold-hearted, venomous frenemy. David Hunter, who plays Matt, exceptional as Dr. Pomatter, as exceptional as Matt. He really brings this two-dimensional character to life and makes you go, I know a guy like that. I know that guy. That guy is so recognisable, which is a huge thing to be able to do as an actor. And it's frustrating because they're all giving incredible Tony Award winning level performances and they're giving it everything and the characters are so vivid, but they've just got nothing to work with. Now, this review has been a bit of an onslaught, and I want to say the musical is not bad. It's not, don't go and see this, go and see this. It's a lot of fun. It's visually and audibly very, very pleasing. I just didn't connect with it in any way. It's got nostalgia, it's got the visuals, it's got charm. It's just the film on stage with some songs. And I don't want to leave the theatre and think, well, what was the point? Why? Why now? Why have we chosen to do this now? What are you telling us about society now? What's different in the 20 years since the film was originally made that makes this an interesting story to tell now? Tell again, to recreate, where I wouldn't just get the same out of watching the film. So is 13 Going on 30, the musical, 30, flirty and thriving? Not quite. It's 30, flirty and finding itself. If you're a fan of the film, if you're a fan of Lucie Jones, if you want to see something wrapped in glitter, then go and see this. You will enjoy it. You will have fun. You won't leave the theatre disappointed. It's just not groundbreaking. And I'm really sorry that my first video review has been this negative. I don't want to be this guy. I want to be the guy that inspires you to go to the theatre. But what I also want to be is the guy that inspires epic theatre to be created. And I don't think I'm that guy either from this video, but thank you very much for watching. I've been Thomas Levi for Elemental Theatre. Please come back.